Hey there, everybody! Pete here from Comic Book Geezers. Happy New Year to you. Welcome to 2022. I'm sitting here alongside my comrade in arms here, Comic Book Geezers, Mr. Wild Bill.
Hello. Happy New Year, comic book fans. Welcome back to another episode of Comic Book Geezers. Yes, we're kicking off 2022.
Can you believe it?
Here we go.
Jeez, I'm telling you.
More comic book geezers.
That's right.
So we're doing more inside the cover.
We got some of you asking for more DC, so we got some DC stuff.
So I showed this off recently in recent acquisitions. I picked this one up just a few weeks ago, like 3 weeks ago. But it's a good read, so I'm going to kick that one off.
House of Mystery, number 219.
219.
So what year
That's
is
a
that
Bernie.
from?
That's a 1973. That's a Bernie Wrightson cover.
And a very good one, I might add.
Cool.
Oh, I think I got the
Cool
imposters.
toy on the back.
Yep.
Okay, so there's only two stories in here, right? So,
Which is unusual for these.
so they kind of kick it off. This character is kind of like the narrator.
Yeah.
He's at the beginning and at the end of each story. So you got,
There he goes.
what's this guy's name? Just, I said that guy's name. Was that Fred?
Oh, Alfred Alcala. Alfred Alcala. Yeah, it was
Is the artist.
The artist.
But he's kind of got a Bernie Wrightson tweak. It's a Bernie Wrightson cover, but Bernie doesn't do the inside. So this story is called The Curse of the Crocodile. So you got this Nazi, and he wants to build a bridge. So, but he doesn't want his troops to do it. He wants to get the natives in the area to do the work. So if he gets the bridge built, they can get their tanks across, and they can be more effective on their military campaign. So up here, what do the locals say? No, we're not building a bridge. See,
There you go. Yeah, so they're like, the locals are like, no, well, you're not going to boss us around.
this is like, you know,
Nazi
this
scum.
this would be to build a bridge here. It will be to defy the waters of the crocodile god.
Yeah, yeah.
So they're like, we're not building a bridge. So what happens is the Nazi commander here, he kicks the dude into the water, and the guy puts a crocodile curse on the Nazi, and he gets devoured by the crocs. Right?
So he dies as he's placing the curse.
He puts the curse on the Nazi and the rest of them.
Yeah.
You build a bridge here, you defy the waters, you suffer the curse of the crocodile. So they build a bridge. Well, what happens is more of the guys say no. So he kicks a few more in the water. And this goes on for a little while until finally one guy's enough. We'll build a bridge.
We'll do it.
This guy's over here.
We don't want to lose any
He's
more.
like, enough. We'll build a bridge. So they build a bridge.
Bridge on the River Kwai. Right?
Yep. So then the war ends and the Nazi leader flees to Brazil, like
Yeah,
South America.
Yeah, somewhere in South America.
So he gets out of Europe,
I think he's in Rio.
but the secret police are after him. They find him and they're chasing him over in South America. So what happens is he winds up getting on a motorcycle and heading out, trying to escape, and he heads out into the swamp. And he's firing shots at the secret police. And he jumps off. He runs out of bullets and he jumps off a cliff into the water. And he's underwater for a little while, and he's like, he gets tangled up in these weeds right here. And then he's underwater for like 20 minutes, and all of a sudden he's like, hey, I can breathe. Hey, it's not a problem. And then the cops are down there waiting.
Figured he drowned, right? So they're like, all right.
Yeah. The cops are down here waiting for him. And then finally he's like, he comes to the surface, and he doesn't really say, hey, what's happening to my body? And he's like, as you can see down here.
So meanwhile, the reader knows what's going on before he does.
Yeah, he turns into a crocodile, this curse of the crocodile guy.
Yeah.
So, all of a sudden, there's the hunters. I hate this fucking camera. Why can you flip that shit?
No, because otherwise it comes in backwards when we record it. So
So he comes to the surface and there's this bright light in his eyes, and he's like, "Oh wow, it's mesmerizing me. I can't see. I wish they'd turn it off." And meanwhile, these hunters are like, "That's it, man. Keep me in your sights." And wham! They hit him over the head, and that's the end, man. He's been captured.
Ironically, like a minute after he gets turned into the crocodile, he's captured.
He's captured.
Yeah.
There he is. And that's the curse of the crocodile.
So what you got to remember with dealing with this camera is it's always, when you're pointing stuff at, it's always the opposite of what you think it is, because this, see here is exactly how it, the way we're looking at it, boys and girls, is exactly how they're going to see it. So that's why it's a little different, I know, but you'll get used to it.
It's a double reversal because we're flipping it this way to begin with.
So so it's like you have to.
So next is the Pledge to Satan. Now this one takes place like in the 1600s, and there's this guy and he's dealing with this witch. And he makes her a proposal. And he wants her like hidden treasure, or he's gonna turn her in. So she's like, "Come on." So he's got her all tied up, and he's like, "Don't pull any tricks with me." So she takes him out to this like garden where there's this tree, and she's like, "You gotta dig here." So he digs, and there's this little pouch, and he's like, "You think this pouch is gonna satisfy me?" And she's like, tells him there's this spell right up here. She's like, she says the words to the spell, and of course, what comes out is one gold coin, one gold florin. And he's like, "This ain't gonna satisfy my debt," you know. And she's like, "Well, if you remember the spell, every time you do it, you'll get a gold coin.
Keep repeating it.
So
you'll be rich."
He's like, "Oh, all right." So then he hits her up for one more spell. He talks to her about this fair maiden in town that he's got his eye on. And he wants her to whip up this love potion, so she does. And what's he do? After he gets it, she whips it up right here. Right? He climbs on her roof and drops it down her chimney, because what you're supposed to do is drop it down the chimney, and the fumes, person down inside the house will breathe the fumes, pass out, and when they wake up, whoever they first see, that's who they're going to become obsessed with. So he uses the spell on the witch. He climbs right on her house here and dumps it down her chimney.
Crap, so all he ever wanted to do was take control of her, right?
Well, he saves it, but he drops a few drops down there for the witch. Oh, and the thing is, the way she says it is that the person under the spell will be forever at their side. So he turns her in. And here she is, set to be burnt at the stake. And she's calling out to him about, "I gotta warn you about that spell. You gotta read the fine print." So he says the spell over and over and over again one night, because he wants to have a ton of cash. Right here. And he falls asleep. He spent all night. You see all the coins in the background here?
Yeah.
He piled up.
He's a wealthy bastard.
But he didn't know that the spell is the Pledge of Satan. So she lets him know. Here's the Pledge of Satan right here. And if you can read that. Is that blurry?
No, I can't read it. I can't read it. I'll read it here. I'll turn around. I'll read it. So the Pledge of Satan is, "My pledge to Satan," translation, "as my pile of gold grows taller, indeed shall I grow smaller." So the more
he's
money...
smaller, he's got this torch. He doesn't know where he's at. And at the end...
Obviously, he's a tiny little guy now.
There's a cat chasing him. Because he spent all night saying that spell over again.
Yep.
That's what made him smaller and smaller and smaller. It's definitely a Twilight Zone twist of fate there, kids.
Let me read the statement from the Crypt Keeper, whatever this guy's name is. "Listen to Walter Wine in there. Just because that spell made a runt out of him. If he'd had any class, he'd make an effort to be big about it. Wouldn't you say? Ha 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 ha." So, moral of the story is, kiddies, greed will get you nowhere.
His greed
made him a small man.
Well, it ruined him in a small way.
Yeah.
His big greed, because he really went tiny here.
Yeah. Yep.
And there you have it.
Some cool ads in there too along the way. I was looking at. We got the ad for that Tarzan issue, that giant-sized Tarzan. We got
this was
8
right
tracks.
up your alley.
8 tracks, so LPs or tapes, no obligation. Buy anytime. 99 cents.
So there you have it, House of Mysteries. And I believe these original stories, not reprints.
Right, which is interesting because Marvel was doing a completely different thing at the time.
So
although they had their own,
Anyway,
series.
I thought it was interesting. 2 good stories. So I thought you'd enjoy that, guys. Anyway, I'm Wild Bill saying thanks for being here. Sorry for the crooked camera. Throw me off. Shit. I'll just play this card to get out of it. Thank you very much. So come on back. You know what to do. Click the like button. Please click the notification bell so you can be kept in the loop every time we have a new video. Yep, so you be kept in the loop. We know what's going on. And as always, thank you for your comments and thanks for your subscription. And thanks for being here. And we'll see you next time on Comic Book Geezers. I'm Wild Bill saying thanks. And alongside my right here.
Alongside my right here, I am Pete. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time here on Comic Book Geezers. Thanks for watching.
See you.
See you then. Bye.